let's take a look at the front page of the Weekend Australian. Firstly, so much news on there. The big story, it's also on the front page of the Australian Financial Review, is this stick to the tax and spend plan. Wayne Swan speaking on this. Greg Brown has the story. Labor's National President Wayne Swan has warned the party against dropping the tax and spend agenda that it took to the May election, declaring Bill Shorten lost working class and regional voters because the party was too vocal on progressive and social issues. Denise, well, I think this story is just manna from heaven for the government. If Wayne Swan thinks that the tax and spend agenda and those mad emissions target reductions and carbon emissions policies, if they think that that didn't have an impact, Denise, I think the government would be very happy to see this as a front page story tomorrow.
I think you can only ask, have they learned nothing? It was an agenda that tried to tell people that were striving to create wealth, to better their lives, that they were being selfish and greedy. And Australians don't, they are a nation of strivers, basically, and they don't like to be told they're being selfish and greedy, and they don't like to be told they're being mean to other people simply because they do want to better themselves. And if they've learned nothing from that experience and from the absolute shellacking that Bill Shorten copped, they're up for it again. It'll be all over again.
Yeah, Terry, Mr Swan backed Mr Shorten's plan to close tax loopholes such as negative gearing and franking credit crackdowns. So spending on health and education, childcare could be bolstered. Franking credits, negative gearing. Terry, what happened to the listening tour?
Well, I think it was Albo who was going on listening to her, but he obviously shouldn't be listening to Wayne Swan because Denise is absolutely right. I mean, it was the policies that Labor took the election as much as the leadership and Bill Shorten that were the problem that got them to the predicament that they're in today. And if they don't accept that, they're absolutely going to be toast the next time round, I mean, all things being considered. I mean, even John Hewson in 1993 realised after losing the unlosable election that he'd actually buggered it up somewhat and dropped a fight back. So if Hewson can do it, I mean, obviously Albanese has to do it for Labor if they want to stay even vaguely competitive with the government over the next couple of years.
Denise, the bottom line is, will Anthony Albanese be taking any policy advice from Wayne Swan?
I don't think so, but I can't be certain on that because he's come out with some strange things already, and I think the bigger question will be is, will Anthony Albanese lead Labor to the next election?
That's a good question.
Because I'm aghast at some of the things he's said already that just indicate he certainly hasn't learnt the lesson. And I don't know, there must be people sitting under him who are thinking, where is all this coming from? We just can't go down this road again.
Terry, I think Denise is right. Anthony Albanese and Christina Keneally have been out talking about the Sri Lankan family, the Tamil family. Of course, we know now that they've got another stay, if you like, for another couple of weeks. Peter Credlin very wisely pointed out that we're not seeing Christina Keneally out and about on this so much. She reckons the polling showing that it's having an adverse effect. What's your take on that?
In terms of the Tamil case, yes, probably I would think that quiet Australians generally believe that the law has run its course and that family should accept the umpire's decision. And the umpire in this case, the highest umpire, was the High Court. But clearly the activists and other supporters who are bankrolling their legal challenges don't agree with that. But I think the more that happens, the more that Middle Australia pushes back against that type of pressure. And certainly if I was Peter Dutton or David Coleman, the immigration minister, I wouldn't be caving into that type of public campaign either. I mean, it makes them look weak if they do. But on the other hand, as far as Christina Keneally and Anthony Albanese go, I think Albo is showing that he's not the leader that his pre-publicity said he was, simply because he can't seem to have authority over his own party. He's ducking and running for cover as far as the absolute scandal in New South Wales goes, and he won't... he's impotent when it comes to dealing with problems like John Setka of the CFMMEU.
Yeah, and I think, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that he went to Biloela this week, which, you know, you can say that that's a masterstroke, or you can say that
that's opportunism.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Denise?
I'm not sure that I'm up on that one.
Yeah, I'm just saying Anthony Albanese supporting the Tamil couple who are asking. They've been to court 7 times.
Look,
we've now got an 8th time on the horizon. And Anthony Albanese backing it, and sort of, I think that he went there this week to speak to the locals who really like this family. We'll get into the detail of that story in just a moment. But, you know, you were a policy advisor, you were a media advisor. What do you think about that
What
issue?
I think is, I think the government's... I do think most people agree that the law must be upheld. I think from a public relations perspective, though, the government has played it very badly. How has this dragged on for this amount of time? These people have been in Australia illegally for long enough to have 2 children. Now, why is it suddenly their imperative now? Why have we... They've allowed the activists to turn it into a cause that it should never have been allowed. These things have to happen, and they have to happen swiftly. We've got 2 people who entered the country illegally a long time ago. They've established a family here. They're still illegal. The highest court in the land has determined they're illegal, and the government needs to hold the line. But it shouldn't have taken this long. It shouldn't have dragged out this long, and it shouldn't have become such a public thing for activists.
I suppose the 7 court cases might have dragged that out